Hi children, hope you are enjoying online classes provided by Vijayanagram Online School. Now, I too would like to take a small class for the students of 10th class. Let me introduce myself. I am Palli Srinivas, a teacher of English from Vijayanagram district. Today's lesson is The Dear Departed. It is a one-act play meant for class 10 children. Children, do you know what a play is? A play is a piece of writing performed by actors in a theater or on television or on radio. This is also called a drama. A play has some acts and each act has some scenes. Before we go into the lesson, let us know something about the dramatist Mr. William Stanley Houghton. We can call him the playwright of the play The Dear Departed. Dramatist and playwright are synonyms. In this play, he satirizes the degradation of moral values in the British middle class. This playwright had unusual and natural talents. The play is mainly themed on the way how elderly people were neglected in the early 20th century British society. Even this is also true in our Indian society too, where some children leave their old, infirm and aged parents alone and go far away to earn money. Let us see what lesson this play offers us about the care we owe to our elders. Now let us see what are the characters in the play and what kind of persons they are. Mainly, we have Emilia Slater. She is the elder daughter of Mr. Abel Merriweather. She is a greedy, stingy, and materialistic woman. Mr. Henry Slater. He is the husband of Amelia. Henry Slater is a man who has no will of his own, never said any word against his wife Amelia. This little girl named Victoria, the daughter of Slaters. She is a girl of 10 years. Victoria is an obedient child and very fond of her grandfather, Mr. Abel Merriweather. Mrs. Elizabeth Jordan. Mrs. Jordan is a stout and complacent woman. She is a very witty and sharp. She too is a greedy person. Mr. Ben Jordan. Jordan is the husband of Elizabeth, the younger daughter of Abel Merriweather. He is rather a jolly little man, but adapts himself to the regrettable occasion. Mr. Abel Merriweather. He is the father of Amelia and Elizabeth. He is a bright and vigorous with a twinkle in his eyes. He is frank and straightforward. Here, Amelia Slater and Elizabeth Jordan are sisters. They are the daughters of Abel Merriweather. Henry Slater and Ben Jordan are co-sons-in-law. That means Henry Slater married to Amelia, Ben Jordan married to Elizabeth. So, these people are called in Telugu Todallullu. We have another character, Victoria. That means she is the daughter of Amelia Slater and Henry Slater. We have another important character, Abel Merriweather, a 70-year-old man. He is the father of Amelia and Elizabeth and father-in-law of Henry Slater and Ben Jordan. A 70-year-old man, Abel Merriweather, is found dead in his room. At least, from what we can see, the Slater household assumes he is dead while they wait for the Jordan's family to arrive. Abel Merriweather is the father of Amelia Slater and Elizabeth Jordan. He had been living with Amelia Slater and her husband Henry Slater when he is declared dead. Elizabeth Jordan and her husband Ben gather at the Slater's house to mourn his loss. We are introduced to a 10-year-old girl named Victoria. Mrs. Slater scolds her for wearing colorful clothes. Apparently, she should be strictly dressed in black to do justice to the event for her grandfather's sudden death. We understand that This formal dressing is shallow and does not come from a place of love or respect or sadness. They are a family of pretentious people trying to outdo their relatives in their show of grief. Both the Slaters and Jordans have no affection or responsibility towards the dead person, and they put up a show of grief by wearing black and pretending to cry. When the Jordan's family arrived, they discussed that their father had gone out to pay his insurance. Now the play continues like this. Ben said, "Do you think he hasn't paid it? Was it overdue?" Mrs. Slater said, "I should think it was overdue." Mrs. Jordan said, "Something tells me he hasn't paid it." Ben said, "The drunken old beggar." Mrs. Jordan said, "He has done it on purpose just to annoy us." Mrs. Slater said, "After all I have done for him, having to put up with him in the house these 3 years, it's nothing short of swindling." Purpose means deliberately, intentionally. One sentence with this word: "That was not an accident, you did it on purpose." Here, annoy means to cause irritation. When the little boy annoyed the dog, it bit him. Here, swindling means to cheat. The manager swindled the company out of 1 crore rupees. Then Mrs. Jordan said, "I had to put up with him for 5 years." Mrs. Slater said, "And you were trying to turn him over to us all the time." "But we don't know for certain that he hasn't paid the premium," Henry said. Mrs. Slater said, "Victoria, run upstairs and fetch that bunch of keys that on your grandpa's dressing table." Here you know, premium means installment payment for an insurance policy. One sentence with this word is, "I have paid the insurance premium on time." Victoria said timidly, "In Grandpa's room?" Her mother, Mrs. Slater, said, "Yes." But Victoria said, I don't like to." Mrs. Slater said, "Don't talk so silly. There is no one who can hurt you." But Victoria goes out reluctantly. Here, reluctantly means unwilling to do. We leave our grandparents' house reluctantly. Mrs. Slater said, "We will see if he has locked the receipt up in the bureau." Ben asked, "In where?" "In this thing." He rises and examines it. Here, receipt means a written paper of payment. We should take a receipt when we pay money to the vendor. Mrs. Jordan also rising, "Where did you pick that up, Amelia? It's new since last I was here." They examine it closely. Mrs. Slater said, "Oh, Henry picked it up one day." Victoria returns, very scared. She closes the door after her and called, "Mother, mother!" Here, scared means to become frightened. One sentence with this is, "People are scared of COVID-19." Mrs. Slater said, "What is it, child?" Victoria told, "Grandpa is getting up." Ben said, "What?" Mrs. Slater said, "What do you say?" Victoria said, "Grandpa is getting up." Mrs. Jordan said, "The child is crazy." Mrs. Slater said, "Don't talk so silly. Don't you know your grandfather is dead?" Victoria said, No, he is getting up. I saw him." They are transfixed with amazement. Victoria clings to Mrs. Slater. Ben said, "Hiss, listen." Here, transfixed means to be motionless with terror. One sentence with this is, "The boy was transfixed when he saw a snake." We have another word, amazement. This means a state of extreme surprise. In his amazement, he took a wrong decision. Cling means to hold fast, embracing. Children cling to the mother when they are in fear. Thus, the first part of Dear Departed started with the old man lying dead upstairs. The first part ended with the old man getting down the stairs, chuckling. Immediately, both Slaters and Jordans looked at the door. A slight chuckling is heard from upstairs. The door opens, revealing an old man clad in a faded but gay dressing gown. He is in his stockinged feet. Although over 70, he is vigorous and well colored. His bright, malicious eyes twinkle under his heavy, reddish grey eyebrows. He is obviously either the old man Abel Merriweather or else his ghost. Read the following questions and try to answer them. Number 1. They were talking about a receipt. Which receipt is it? Yes, the insurance policy receipt. Second question is, who went into the grandpa's room? Yes, you know pretty well, that is Victoria. Now the third question is, why was Victoria scared? Can't you tell? No problem. I will tell you. The answer is, Victoria was scared because her mother told her to go upstairs where grandpa is dead. Question. What does the word reluctantly mean? Reluctantly means unwilling to do. You came across this word in the 8th class lesson, the tattered blanket. The fifth question is, how do you pronounce the word RECEIPT? Yes, the word is receipt. Here, P is silent. Now, dear children, let us know something new about articles. You know pretty well about the articles. A and the are called articles. We generally use articles, i.e., a, an, and the before common nouns. But in some cases, articles are not used before them. Let's observe these two sentences taken from the letter. He went out soon after breakfast to pay his insurance. And when we had finished dinner, I thought I would take up a bit of something on a tray. These sentences, the underlined common nouns breakfast and dinner, refer to the names of meals and food. In primary and general sense, we don't use articles before the words that refer to the names of meals and food. Example, breakfast, dinner, lunch, supper. We should not say the breakfast, the dinner, the lunch, the supper, etc. We should not use article the before some common nouns. This is called the omission of articles. Now, let us see where the is not used. Before proper nouns. That means names of persons, places, etc. We never say the Ravi, the Mohan, the India, and the Hyderabad. For abstract nouns like honesty, beauty, lie, etc. Before material nouns like iron, gold, silver, bronze. Before the names of certain diseases like fever, COVID, cancer, etc. Before the names of games and sports like cricket, volleyball, hockey, etc. Article the is not used before languages Telugu, English, Hindi, French, Russian, etc. The is not used before names of subjects like mathematics, economics, philosophy. The is not used before certain words like man, woman, society, heaven, and hell, which are used in general sense. The is not used before the words like church, prison, school, hospital, bank, when they are used for primary purpose. Let us examine this sentence. P.V. Sindhu is a good badminton player. We never say the P.V. Sindhu is a good badminton player. In the second sentence, gold is a precious metal. We should not say the gold is a precious metal. Honesty is the best policy. We should not say the honesty is the best policy. Cricket is a popular game. We never say the cricket is a popular game because we don't use the article before sports and games. He has been suffering from fever. We never say he has been suffering from the fever. Man is mortal, not the man is mortal. Study the following sentences carefully and say where we can omit the. My brother lives in the America. The Neeraj Chopra won gold medal in Tokyo Olympics. We live in the society. The lead is a heavy metal. My son goes to the school every day. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.